living on an old boat with no engine in a swamp. Darren calls himself a serial pest. His neighbours say he's abusive and want him to clean up his mess and leave. Council also want him gone. You're about to see that's not so easy.
Nobody usually does nothing. Well, I'm Darren Lockwood, I do things.
We've had enough. He's a very volatile, angry man.
You're tough as You're tough as
Scary. It really is frightening.
I don't care what they think.
They think you're a pest.
I don't care. I can think you're a little maggot. What I think's my opinion. It's not a fact, is it?
The facts are Darren Lockwood bought this old jetty on Lota Creek near Brisbane's Moreton Bay 5 years ago. He trucked in this old boat that doesn't have an engine and has lived here ever since.
No one should be living on that boat. He has caused so much disruption for us and the whole neighbourhood. I'm furious.
Lois Kempnish and her family own the jetty next to Darren's and the house across the street.
No person should be allowed to live on a boat that's unseaworthy, without toileting facilities, without garbage removal, without power, without water. We shouldn't have to put up with it.
This is Darren last year. Watch as he smashes a sign the Kempnishes put up declaring their ownership of their jetty, flicking the camera at the bird as he leaves.
Now, I've seen video of you smashing their sign and taking it down.
Yep.
Why did you do that?
Because it's not theirs, it's not a slipway. That was about a slipway. Nothing about a jetty, it was about a slipway. And they were making me look like a over a boat out in there.
He thinks he owns it and he's trying to take it over.
Lois's mum Julia says at first Darren was claiming he owned their jetty and the decommissioned slipways beside it as well.
He knows he owns one, but he insists on taking over. How? I don't know.
And he's made a hell of a mess there.
A big mess. Yes, it's not nice.
These pictures show how Darren has amassed a collection of junk on the council land in front of the jetty. The neighbour who took them too nervous to be identified.
Often he'll have deliveries of things such as couches, jumping castles and other paraphernalia, and they'll just be left there for weeks on end.
The council ordered Darren to clean up the mess. Security camera vision revealing Darren transferring some of his goods to the mangroves in the creek itself, even bulldozing some of the stuff with his car into the water.
Council's definitely gonna not like that.
Well, obviously the council have taken action against you because you'd amassed junk here on the...
Junk?
whatever it was.
No, you just said junk.
Yeah, mostly junk. The area looks terrible.
You could say it's one giant pigsty, and what Darren didn't move off the foreshore was removed by the council, which also issued him with a fine. In fact, while we were talking to Darren, a council officer arrives and starts taking photos.
Oh, good, Dave.
I don't think he wants to talk to us.
Well, that's a shame. He'd be another one that could fill you full of
And locals say it's some of the people Darren has attracted to the area who've also caused drama, like this lady who lived on Darren's boat at one stage.
So she used to shout abuse at us. I wasn't able to go out in our front garden or onto our front deck with our children. Yep, she would swear at us. And one day there was an altercation with my mother and another gentleman where she threw rocks at their car and smashed their windows.
Off, you dog! Let's start filming you! Don't do that, man!
Police were called and the rock thrower arrested.
Yeah, and she was arrested and charged and paid for the windows.
She had to pay for one of the windows, but not our window.
Then there's this video Darren recorded when the son of one of the neighbours accuses him of abusing his elderly dad who lives nearby.
I haven't taken on your old man. I asked him what his problem was.
You're tough as
Huh? I'm filming this.
Darren denies he abused his elderly neighbour, but he doesn't deny inviting people to live in front of his jetty on occasions.
I let a couple of people stay there for free.
So he'd have boats delivered to the side of the road, and we had a gentleman living in there for probably about a week. We also had a gentleman living in a caravan as well outside of our house. And yes, he was finally moved on after a significant amount of time.
Julia Kempnish, who's almost 80, says she's also been abused by Darren as well.
He came screaming across the road, abusing us for reporting the fact that he'd cut one of the bollards off the foreshore. And we hadn't done it.
Have you threatened people here?
Yes.
But you're denying that you threatened the Kempnishes.
No, of course I didn't threaten the Kemp. Why would I threaten an 80-year-old woman?
I don't like my mum anywhere near him. I don't like any of us to be down at the house on our own when he's angry or upset about something.
When Darren first moved in, he ran a hose to a council tap to get water and an extension cord to an old power line the Kempnishes had for their slipway when it was operating in the 60s.
Oh, it did.
Sounds a bit dodgy, was it?
Oh, of course it was.
The council eventually sealed off the water line and Darren put in his own power pole. Now he insists he uses solar power and washes at a park down the road.
So, you know, if the council think I was stealing their water then, I'm definitely stealing it now.
As it stands, you don't pay rates or taxes or anything. You can live here rent-free.
Rent-free.
Pretty good deal.
Oh, it's a beautiful deal. That's why I live in Australia, free country.
Lois says Darren was taking advantage of them at every turn. She says he was using their garbage bins for his rubbish and eventually used their address as his own, having everything delivered here from the mail to take away pizza.
How could I use their address?
Well, I've seen mail that went to you at their address. They've shown me.
Well, it's obviously been a muck-up.
He's used our place to get mail delivered. He's used our place to get pizzas delivered because he doesn't actually have a valid address.
Bullshit.
Not
Rubbish,
true?
not true. Not true. Not true at all.
And the truly bizarre thing about all this is that it was Darren who called us, not his neighbours. And when I started checking with the locals about what was going on, he wasn't happy.
You're not a little maggot, are you?
I'd like to think not.
I think you're a little maggot, but that you're saying you're not. Same difference with the neighbours. Say nothing. No worries. God bless you. Have a great day. See you, fellas.